episode of Routes Through Pokemon Adventures. I'm Ruby.
And I'm Sherlock.
And together we are a father-daughter duo going through the Pokemon video games, anime, and Pokemon Adventures manga. And this week we will be covering 7 episodes of the anime as we follow Ash taking Larvitar to Mount Silver. But before we jump into all that, let's catch up on what we've been doing.
So, what have you been up to, Ruby?
I've been training my cousin's dog to do trick dog for a 4-H thing. And we have a fair coming up, which should be fun.
Yeah, the county fair?
Yeah. I've already done agility with the dog, but now we're going to do trick dog on Saturday. And so, going to do a little story with it. It's just going to be day at the fair with my dog. Going to run around, do 10 tricks, and be amazing.
Sounds like fun.
Mm-hmm.
I know for me, recently, my wife took me out for an early birthday date thing, because my birthday's coming up next month. Well, my birthday's past now, but as of recording.
It's coming up in a month, but it's past by now.
So, for my birthday, and we went off to see the comedian Nate Bargatze, who I had seen some of his stuff in the past without really realizing who this guy was, like his skit with the dead body down the water slide, if anybody's familiar. But it's pretty funny. But I started seeing his stuff popping up on my Instagram here and there, and I thought it was really funny, so of course it started popping up even more. And I would share the videos with my wife because some of them were fairly relatable. and so then she decided, since he was going to be nearby doing a show, we could maybe go. So we did, and it was a lot of fun. It was a little on the interesting side because we had a much longer intermission with some lightning storm causing some fun with the lights and everything. But it made for some fun jokes as well from some of the comedians with all the thunder and lightning going on.
Yeah, and we weren't like home alone. My grandma was here. She's got a little attached apartment though, so she was at her house, and I was just watching a few of my siblings. And yeah, Mama had texted me, and she's like, "There's a storm coming." I'm like, "Okay, it might be bad with some hail maybe," so we were gonna move to the basement and stuff. But it said it wasn't going to come for like another 45 minutes. So I was like, all right, let's start moving some stuff. And then my grandma comes over and she's like, guys, we got to get down to the basement. I'm like, okay. And we had no wind. Or we had a little bit of wind, but we had no rain or hail.
No, we got all the rain and more lightning and thunder the next day, though.
Yeah, it was worse the second night.
A lot of wind. Oh, another fun thing is I was playing Mario Kart Online with my brother, because he recently got himself a Switch too. So we were playing Mario Kart World and chatting with the new chat feature stuff on there, which was fun. But then he knew of a game that I hadn't heard of, and it was on sale, so it was like, I don't know, normally like $20 or something, maybe, but it was $5. So we both bought it and started playing it, and it is kind of Metroidvania, I guess, with like the layout and the map, and that you can go back and forth through it. You're not locked into going one direction the whole time, like Mario or something. Like old Mario, I should say.
Yeah, I'm like Mario Odyssey. You can go wherever you want.
Yeah, but it's not 3D, right? Like it's a platformer, side scrolly type thing. This game is, but you start off with like a familiar, like a creature or whatever. Then you have 4 choices. And then when you fight monsters on the map, it goes into like a fight mode. It's not like real-time fighting like Metroid is. And so, you call out attacks and stuff, kind of like in Pokemon or the Final Fantasy games. Anything that's turn-based, really. But when you defeat monsters in that game, sometimes when you get the loot from the battle, there will be an egg of one of the kinds of monsters you fought, and then you can hatch it, and then you have one. So it's like a Pokemon version of Metroid or something. It's been fun so far. Defeated a boss so far. And, like, I forget what... Let's see. I think there was, like, a frog that you could choose. There was a eagle or bird or something, and there was a wolf, and there was one other thing, and they all had elements attached to them, and it was, like, 2 elements or something like that. And my brother was like, oh, man, I like these fire ones, because I think there was 2 that had the fire element attached to it, but he loves wolves, so he went with the wolf. So then when I went to choose, I was looking at it, and I'm like, oh, man, the wolf has the 2 best elements, because it was water and wind.
Oh, no.
But I'm like, but you already chose the wolf, so I guess I'll take the fire eagle thing, which was like fire and wind.
Fire.
So I named it Phoenix.
Wind and water are the best. Oh, Phoenix.
Because it's a firebird.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, been playing that. That's been kind of fun.
Now let's get into the anime. Starting with episode 261, or season 5, episode 50. Entei at your own risk. Or Entei to Onsan no Nakama Tachi. Or Entei and Friends of the Hot Spring.
You sound so bored.
There's only one, so I mean, it's pretty boring.
Ash and Co. are making their way to Silvertown for the tournament. And, well, not quite there, because they're also going to Mount Silver Preserve to return Larvitar. And Larvitar wakes up and sees Brock and Misty close by, so he hardens up out of fear. Ash is babying him, and he does seem to listen to Brock and Misty when they say he can't be doing that. It's like, he's so cute. Yeah, you're right. And Ursaring shows up, and the gang run away. Then they find some hot springs, and plenty of wild Pokemon are bathing in them. When the gang try to approach, they hit a wire that sets off an alarm, and a kid pops out ready to battle Entei. Ash hears the kid say Entei, and so he gets excited and looks around for the legendary Pokemon. This kid has calculated, based off of other Entei sightings, that his next appearance will be in that area. Then the crazed Ursaring reappears and jumps into a hot spring and instantly calms down. The kid explains that the hot springs heal and calm Pokemon. Then Ash brings all his Pokemon to get to know Larvitar, and of course he's freaked out by that. And we kind of slip into a Pikachu short as we get to see all the Pokemon enjoying the springs except Larvitar, who then enjoys some warm sand with Psyduck, Onix, and Geodude. Like, the gang is kind of, like, they're there and they say a couple things, but for the most part they're not really involved in a lot of that part. And we even have a sandball fight break out instead of a snowball fight.
Yeah.
And Larvitar gets hit, and Pikachu goes to help him back up. But then Pikachu gets hit and gets angry. But before anything can happen, Larvitar screeches again. Oh, and there was also this funny moment where Totodile is doing his happy dance, and Togepi goes right beside him and does the same dance. It was adorable.
They're 2 of the best Pokemon.
Then we see Team Rocket spying on the gang from the bushes.
They're in the bushes.
Then they launch into Meowth's after-bath fruit smoothie plan. They pull up in a truck wearing disguises and launch into an interesting intro and muddled middle again. But this time they actually skip their ending.
Prepare for trouble, we don't care for defiance.
And make it double, it's all for science.
As researchers, we search for the truth in food and drink.
We're here to say what we think. What's really important when you eat a treat, not the flavor, but the time you eat. Team Rocket want the gang to try their fruit smoothies, and they say they are all free. Misty and Brock don't trust them. But Ash is an idiot, so Ash walks himself and all his Pokemon right into the back of the truck. Like, why wouldn't they have the smoothies outside? Like, seriously?
This is creepy.
What an idiot.
They're creeps. Jeez.
Sure enough, it seals up and Team Rocket take off with their haul. Ash has his Pokemon try to break open the doors and it isn't working. So then he has Pikachu use Thunderbolt, which just electrocutes all of them inside the back of the truck with some friendly fire. Then Ash has Cyndaquil switch off with Totodile using Flamethrower and Water Gun to weaken the metal. And then Bayleaf uses Razor Leaf and Vine Whip to get them all out. The Razor Leaf breaks open the brittle metal and then Vine Leaf to pull them all out.
Mm-hmm.
Ash was holding Larvitar, who slips from his grip, but is caught by a Misdreavus. Then, the kid from earlier, Nelson, shows up. Misdreavus apparently is his. He claims it has a secret move to help capture Entei, and Ash wants to know what it is, so Nelson challenges him to a battle to find out. Then we get our Who's That Pokemon trivia. This Pokemon will slug a target without warning. Phanpy wants to be the one to battle, so Ash sends him in against Misdreavus. They battle, and we learn that Misdreavus' secret attack is... Mean Look.
Yes.
Ash doesn't think it did anything, but since Phanpy is confused from Psybeam, he goes to return it, and can't. The problem here is Ash did encounter Mean Look before, and tried to do a switch and learned about what it does when he did a ghost... And it was with a ghost Pokemon, when he was battling Morty.
He forgets things like that. Remember, he forgets things so easily because he can't age.
Right.
So it's constantly refreshing.
Right. But I do think it was cool that Mean Look is the special move that he wants to use to capture Entei, since that's, like, our plan as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because they escape right away. So Team Rocket also want to use Mean Look to catch legendary beasts, so they net Misdreavus from above, having heard the explanation of its move, and they drop another interesting intro, and this time they also have an outstanding outro.
Prepare for trouble with Misdreavus in the sack.
Make it double with that great Mean Look attack.
Mean Look Jesse.
Meaner Look James.
Team Rocket blasts off, your secret's been told.
Surrender now or battle the brave and the bold. This is getting so old. Is Meowth's little comment at the end.
Yep.
Then Team Rocket vacuums up the Pokemon from the hot springs, and they have a catching catchphrase of a rhyme.
With our twisty Turbo Tempest to making the haul,
we're finally catching them all. Then Pineco gets sucked up, and Brock jumps in after it. He catches it, but then Ursaring bumps into it, and he drops Pineco. The Pokemon watches as Brock is getting sucked up further with the other Pokemon. Pineco starts to glow like he's going to explode, and then a weird ring of energy spins around where he was, breaking the vortex apart. And when the glow subsides, we have an evolution and a gotta catch 'em all, as Brock's Pineco becomes a Forretress. Then Team Rocket, having lost all the Pokemon, reactivate the Twisty Turbo to superpower, and they get themselves caught in it as well. And it will destroy the hot spring, so the gang have to use their Pokemon to stop it. Nothing is working, and the siren goes off again. Something gleams on a mountaintop, and fire comes shooting across and disrupts the new vortex, sending Team Rocket flying off and landing on the mountain right by Entei. He explodes them, and they're blasting off again. Ding! Nelson challenges Entei and sends Misdreavus in with Mean Look. Then Entei does the very thing it did to me when I Mean Looked it and had it there for a while. It roars and sends Misdreavus back into its Pokeball. Nelson is determined to go looking for it again, and Ash agrees that someday Nelson will capture it, making it sound like now it's okay to capture the legendary beast. I'm getting mixed messages from this show.
He also has a split personality with his misformation. Alright, our Who's That Pokemon? It's Tyrogue. Tallies, 2 interesting intros, a muddled middle, friendly fire, outstanding outro, catching catchphrase, evolution, and gotta catch 'em all. Pokemon. Now let's rank it.
Let's see. So yeah, it was cool to see Entei. It was cool that they used mechanics that, like the Mean Look and the roaring. That was all really cool to me. Fortress's evolution was nifty. So I mean, like, it was a decent episode. I enjoyed it, but I mean, not like a top episode. But let's see. I think we're gonna put it right above the Ice Cave. Entei at Your Own Risk is now number 27 out of 50.
Now that we've ranked it, Season 5, Episode 51. a crowning achievement. Or Yadokingu Oja no Shidushi. Or Yadoking King's Symbol. Could have just added one more, that would have been exciting.
They're just, like, frustrating you. Maybe they're saving all their energy for the actual tournament.
Well, they better get more than 10 in a row to beat their last record.
More journeying towards Mount Silver, and the gang stumble upon a waterfall and a lake that has dried up some. There are a lot of slowpoke that don't look too well, and at least one slowbro is around too. On one of the rocks is a king's rock, which Ash doesn't recognize.
You literally had one.
There are a couple of people that warn them not to touch the king's rock. The future of the slowpoke depends on it. Alice is the girl, and the guy is her father, Professor Telesu, and she has a slowpoke herself named Arthur. And Brock launches into flirtation mode until he's pulled away by his ear thanks to Misty babysitting Brock. So, it turns out the King's Rock is a myth, even though it was a prize in a tournament.
We were watching this episode, and I was like, and you kept falling asleep, so I was like, yeah!
I watched it again later.
Yeah, but I was about to shout at you about what was going on, but you were just asleep. I was like, hey.
Yeah, instead I watched it later, and then I came to you later, and I'm like, did you see what happened? What are they doing?
Yeah, I saw what
happened! Anyway, this King's Rock is at the heart of a Slow King legend. Meanwhile, Team Rocket is spying on all this and heard King and figured Jules must be involved. We learned that there was an earthquake a few years ago that drained away a lot of the lake. Inside the cave that they can all get in thanks to the lower water level, there are hieroglyphics that supposedly have the secrets of Slow King and the King's Rock that no one thought existed, until they see it now. Telesu has interpreted most of the story, and it says the water levels dropped and they were all rescued by a slowpoke that transformed itself into a Slow King with the King's Rock. This is why that King's Rock is super important. There's still part of the hieroglyphics that Telesu can't interpret, and then Team Rocket drops down in King and Queen disguises and royally decree an interesting intro.
Bow to the Queen and prepare for trouble.
Crawl before the King and make it double. And then they end with an outstanding outro with playing cards all around them, which also have kings and queens. And Meowth actually pops up as the Joker Jester. So they took their royal thing and took it into a playing card direction.
Team Rocket shuffling the deck at the speed of light.
Better lay down all your cards now, or prepare to fight. They intend to steal the King's Rock, and a battle begins. Larvitar screeches and stops the fight. Arthur wasn't bothered by the screech at all, and settled Larvitar down, showing some leadership qualities. Pikachu thunderbolts Team Rocket, and they're blasting off again! Ding! And then we get our Who's That Pokemon trivia. This Pokemon uses its strong mind instead of its strong body. Apparently, a few Slowpoke have tried to get the King's Rock and become a Slow King, but none have succeeded yet. We see one try, and a Shelder pops out and latches on, giving us an evolution as we get a Slowbro appearing. Arthur, the Slowpoke, sees the trouble, and it decides it will become Slow King. A ton of Shelder go after Arthur, but he battles them away. Once Arthur is close, he's about to be hit by 3 Shelder, and so Larvitar screeches again, which hits everyone except Arthur, because we already learned that he's not affected by it. Ha-ha! Arthur crowns himself, and then a Shelder bites his head, and we get another evolution. Arthur the Slow King, like Arthur, the King of Legend, known for pulling a sword out of a stone. Like the King's Rock, stone, on a stone.
Oh, I knew King Arthur was somebody, but yeah.
But he also is known for getting the Excalibur. So the sword from the stone is a different sword, because then that's the one that shows that he's king, because only the true king could pull it out. But then he gets Excalibur from the Lady of the Lake. And where are they?
I don't know.
At a lake. Sort of dried up, but still. So it combined both those ideas.
Nice.
It was all King Arthur stuff. Team Rocket is spying from the balloon, and seeing as they couldn't get the King's Rock, they'll just capture Slow King. It doesn't work out, as Slow King uses confusion, and they crash into a cliff. Then they're all bitten on the butt by Shelder, and Meowth wonders if they'll turn into Slowbro, and then Wobbuffet pops up with a Shelder on his head, so apparently he gets to be the king.
Yes!
Finally, another Thunderbolt sends Team Rocket blasting off again!
Ding!
Ding! Arthur the Slow King opens the waterfall, and it is the mystery to the panel that he couldn't interpret before. That the professor couldn't interpret before. They all follow into the cave behind the waterfall, and on the other side is a hidden lake with lush greenery. It is the Slowpoke Paradise. Alice has to say goodbye to Arthur, and then before the gang can leave, Brock attempts to flirt with Alice some more. And we have more babysitting Brock as Misty pulls him by his ear again.
Who's that Pokemon? It's Kadabra. Tallies, 2 basing Brock, interesting intro, outstanding outro, and 2 evolution. Alright, now to rank it. How about below Hocus Pokemon and above Hatching a Plan?
Sure. Alright. So that puts the crowning achievement as number 35 out of 51.
Now, episode 263, or season 5, episode 52. Here's Looking at You, Elekid, or Nanako to Edikido, or Nanako and Elekid.
What? Oh, you're dragging because of the one exclamation point. I was like, what the heck is your problem? It's one sentence, of course, there's only one exclamation point.
They should do Nanako and Elekid, but they do it very boring.
As the gang continues toward the Mount Silver Preserve for Larvitar, we find the Pokemon still hasn't warmed up to Misty and Brock. Then the top of an Elekid pokes out from some bushes.
There, in the bushes.
And it was just like that drawing of Tracy's back on the Orange Islands. Because remember, that's what he drew, was like the 2 little ears poking out. He comes out and steals Larvitar's food like a jerk. Pikachu gets angry, and so Elekid and Pikachu zap at each other, and Ash tries and fails to stop them, getting himself electrocuted with some friendly fire. Suddenly, Elekid and Larvitar are snatched up by a net, and Team Rocket is flying off with them in their balloon. The net is made of reinforced steel, so bay leaves don't cut it open. But it does mean that Elekid can electrify the net. They are freed, and Elekid takes Larvitar under his wing. Not that he actually has a wing, but, it's just a saying. While the gang worry about Larvitar, a Meganium comes out of some bushes, and within moments, I knew who it had to be. After all, there was an Elekid nearby just a moment ago. And sure enough, it's
Casey!
It is Casey, the baseball fanatic, who loves the team called the Electabuzz.
And she needs to evolve Elekid to be her Electabuzz.
So yeah, she shows up, giving us a rockin' reunion. And she really wants Elekid so that her and the Pokemon can cheer on the Electabuzz team even better. She doesn't even want to necessarily evolve it, she just wants to cheer the team on better. And so she's ready to help Ash and Co. when she finds out that Elekid was captured by Team Rocket. Meanwhile, Elekid knocks some apples from a tree to share with Larvitar. Team Rocket are trying to find the missing Pokemon and have a boss fantasy about how much Giovanni will appreciate those 2 Pokemon. Do you remember that? Like Elekid being used as an electric source for like his like electric razor and stuff.
And I think he was probably standing like right in front of an outlet or something.
Yeah.
Probably. Idiot.
Team Rocket find the 2 Pokemon and net them a second time. However, this time they use a non-steel net so that Elekid can't shock his way out again. Larvitar screeches, and so the gang find them, and Meganium razor leaves the net. Which works this time because it's not steel.
Boy.
Oh, I thought that was great. Fortress spins up into the balloon and sends Team Rocket blasting off again. Ding! Once again, Larvitar and Elekid are free and on their own. Then Team Rocket crash down from their blasting and land right on top of another rockin' reunion, as the poor man they crash into is the Magikarp salesman.
I knew immediately. I was like, it's him! It's him!
James starts to fall for his pitch again, but only for a very brief moment, and then he tackles the salesman to get a refund. But he doesn't have the Pokemon anymore to return, so no refund.
I mean, that is fair.
True. But the salesman has another offer. A Weepin' Bell with sweet scent. You just remembered what happens in this episode, did you? A Weepin' Bell with sweet scent, and Team Rocket just has to trade a Pokemon to him. Jessie and Meowth are taken in this time, and James is not. But as Team Rocket try to decide on a Pokemon to trade, they choose Victory Bell, who always eats James, and they force James to give him away.
So sad.
But then, because of this, we get a flashback to when James got Weepin' Bell, which is nice since we never saw how he got the stupid Pokemon in the first place. He just showed up at that cage and was like, hey, my Weepin' Bell became a Victory Bell. It's like, what Weepin' Bell? So we get a gotta give him up as the trade takes place. And then we get our Who's That Pokemon trivia. This Pokemon uses its pendant for hypnotizing. It's a tricky one.
Yeah.
So then Team Rocket uses Weepin' Bell's sweet scent, and it works on Elekid. Larvitar tries to stop him. Meganium, Pikachu, and others are getting drawn to the scent as well. Elekid and Larvitar fall into a pit trap, and the gang fall into another. Elekid and Larvitar are then caught up in a net for a third time. The gang get out with Meganium, I think using like the vines or something. I can't remember. And a battle begins, and James tosses Weepin' Bell into battle and then shouts at Victory Bell not to get him, forgetting it's not Victory Bell anymore, so it won't eat him.
No. And
then Weepin' Bell does great in battle, so well in fact that we get an evolution as it becomes a Victory Bell.
And when it becomes a Victory Bell, it eats Jessie!
It eats Jessie instead in a new kind of distracted Pokemon moment.
And like, maybe we'll keep this Victory Bell around for a long time.
One can only hope. Elekid and Larvitar are freed. When Jessie gets free, she has Arbok send Victory Bell flying away because she's not okay with it eating her. Meganium solar beams Team Rocket and they go blasting off again. Ding! Meanwhile, the Magikarp salesman is being eaten by the traded Victory Bell, and he regrets the trade and kicks that Pokemon high into the sky. And so both Victory Bells were flying high because of them being hit, and they collide in midair.
And then they fall in love and run off together.
Into the woods, holding
Lost
vines,
in the woods.
screaming all the way.
Yeah, they're like, but they're in love.
The scream of love.
I loved as soon as he got the the Victory Bell. I'm like, wow. Like
Yeah.
from there on, it's very fun.
It is sad. It is sad though because now the Victory Bell is gone.
Yeah.
Casey uses Meganium to battle Elekid, and then she catches the Pokemon. We then learn that Casey has 4 badges, so she has a way to go yet. But it's kind of cool that she's out there trying to earn those Johto badges as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then the gang leaves. And that's the episode.
Who's that Pokemon? It's Hypno. I know that was really hard, guys. And our tallies are Friendly Fire, 2 Rockin' Reunions, Boss Fantasy, Gotta Give 'Em Up, Evolution, and Distracted Pokemon. Wait, if the Gotta Give 'Em Up counts for James having to give away his Pokemon, was there also a Gotta Catch 'Em All because he got a Pokemon?
I wasn't sure, because he technically already had a Weepin' Bell, we just never saw him get it. So when he got this new Weepin' Bell, it wasn't a new Pokemon, right?
But it was.
Well, I mean, it was a different Pokemon than he had, but it wasn't a new type of Pokemon.
It had a completely different gender.
My point is, it was still a Weepin' Bell, though. So, like, his Pokedex entry wouldn't have counted as another Pokemon. So, I mean, if you want to, we can. I didn't think that it was, is all.
Oh, okay. I guess we can leave it.
Okay. If you listeners disagree, go ahead and chime in. Leave a comment. Send an irate email.
No time to rank it.
Alright, here's Looking at You, Elekid. Let's see, where do I want that one? I like the title. It's fun. But, it's fun to have Casey back, of course. I think I might put it under Throwing in the Noctowl and above I Polly Told You So.
Okay.
That good with you?
Sure.
Do you remember Throwing in the Noctowl?
This is the pilot episode.
It's not the pilot episode. The pilot episode is just the first episode where Ash gets Pikachu.
Dude, he was a pilot. I can call that one the pilot episode.
Alright, so that puts Here's Looking at You, Elekid, at 41 out of 52.
Now, Season 5, Episode 53. You're a star, Larvitar. Or Yogi Rasu Ganbadu. Or Do Your Best, Yogiras.
At the base of Mount Silver, Ash and Co. are at a Pokemon Center catching up with Professor Elm. After the convo ends, another kid shows up and wants to battle. His name is Satchel, and he tosses out a Magby. Ash chooses Cyndaquil because gotta fight fire with fire, I guess. Misty mentions that water would make more sense to Brock. Because you're smart now, Misty, except when you decide that you have to fight because it's water Pokemon. But not having an advantage is something Ash actually wants to work on, despite doing things like this all the time. But at least he gave a reason for it. Magby wins the match for Satchel. However, Satchel knows that a lot of strong, evolved form of Pokemon are going to be used in the tournament, and so he wants to get Magby to evolve before it all begins. Later, Ash is thinking about what Satchel was saying, and then he sees a trainer working with his Quilava. Ash decides there's still a lot of work for him and his Pokemon before the Silver Conference matches. Team Rocket are spying on Ash, taking his Pokemon out to train. And then they see all the other trainers with their evolved Pokemon. So then their plan becomes to steal all of them. While Misty and Brock watch Ash train his Pokemon, Larvitar wanders off and gets the attention of all the other trainers. Misty and Brock rush in to get Larvitar, but then a vacuum starts sucking up all the Pokemon over there, including Magby and Larvitar. Ash saves Larvitar and thinks it can't just be a storm that's blowing everything away. And then Team Rocket reveal themselves with an interesting intro and a muddled middle.
Prepare for trouble, we're here to inform.
Make it double, we're the eye of the storm.
To protect the world from devastation.
To unite all peoples within our nation.
To denounce the evil of leaving well enough alone.
To extend our reach and make these Pokemon our own. Ash tries to stop them, and they suck him up with Cyndaquil and Larvitar. Ash gets halfway into the vacuum tube, and Larvitar lands on top of it. Then Team Rocket shoot off in their balloon with a catching catchphrase. What a blast! Misty and Brock go to follow with the rest of Ash's Pokemon, and Satchel joins them. Team Rocket put their case of captured Pokemon into the back of a semi-truck, and Ash is tied up in a nearby cabin. Then we get our Who's That Pokemon trivia. When this massive Pokemon barks, volcanoes erupt. While Team Rocket climb into the truck, Larvitar sneaks over and bites through their rear tire. Then he gets into the cabin and frees Ash. James is stuck replacing the tire, and Ash sends Larvitar to get Cyndaquil and Magby to melt a hole in the glass container they're all trapped in. Before they can finish, Team Rocket get back into their truck, and Larvitar pops the tire again. As James and Meowth get back to fixing the tire, the hole in the glass is made, and the Pokemon get out of that, but then hide in the truck when Team Rocket hears a noise. They investigate and are ambushed by the Pokemon. A battle begins, and Ash's Pokemon and friends arrive just in time to help. Magby's battling gives us an evolution as it becomes Magmar, and it and Cyndaquil send Team Rocket blasting off again! Ding! All the Pokemon are returned, and Satchel and Ash go their separate ways since Ash needs to bring Larvitar to the preserve.
Who's that Pokemon? It's Entei. And our tallies are interesting intro, muddled middle.
I like how you're muddling that.
Wait. Catching catchphrase and evolution. Now we've got to rank it. Okay, what if we did it right below same old song and dance?
So right above outrageous fortunes?
Yep.
So then that makes You're a Star, Larvitar, number 33 out of 53.
Now, Season 5, Episode 54. Address unknown. Or... it's too boring to even say.
There's a complete lack of exclamation points.
Any exclamation whatsoever, even a period.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, no period.
Complete lack of punctuation.
Yeah. I gotta get real bored for this one. Fushigi no kuni no anan. Or unknown of the country of mystery.
So Fushigi is mystery. Remember that because of the Fushigi Club and also Fushigi Dane, which is Bulbasaur. And no denotes like belonging or whatever, so that's why we have of and of. Now, Kuni and Unown, well, yeah, Kuni must be country, because Unown is unknown. Obviously.
There's no mystery in it, though, because mystery is like mystery.
No, Fushigi is mystery.
Oh, right.
I just said that.
So unknown is right.
Ash and Co. are continuing up the mountain, and a portal in the sky opens up, dropping an unknown that lands right on Misty's head. Ash and Brock think the Pokemon might be sick, and Misty confirms that it is, and that it is upset about being separated from its friends. Apparently, she connected with Unknown's mind when it hit her in the head for a little bit. She also got a glimpse of the universe the Unknown come from. After some rest, the Unknown feels better, and Ash promises to help the Unknown find its friends. It goes back to rest, and Team Rocket is spying on the twerps. In the morning, the Unknown is all better, and while it's shaking hands, because it doesn't really have hands, with Larvitar, Misty gets too close, and Larvitar freezes up. Unknown decides it wants to help. But then they hear Team Rocket waking up, still exhausted, up on top of the cliff, and they yawn through an interesting intro.
Prepare for trouble in slow-mo.
Make that a double latte cup of joe. Then they start refreshing themselves through the rest of the intro and wrap up with an outstanding outro.
Team Rocket wakes up to blast off at the speed of light.
Surrender now, face the day, or prepare to fight and fight. Ash has Larvitar unleash hidden power, and Wobbuffet counters it. As the blast is coming back, suddenly Ash and Co., along with the Unknown, vanish. The explosion of the hidden power hitting the ground sends Team Rocket blasting off again! Ding! Ash, Brock, and Misty wake up on half eggshells that are floating around with a lot more. Then this weird universe shakes as Pikachu, but giant-sized, shows up. Togepi, also extra large, joins and leaps up to land in Misty's arms, most likely, because that's what it always does when it does that leap, which wouldn't be good due to the size shift. And so we get a moment of Big Brother Pikachu as he blocks Togepi from hurting the little trainers. That was something you picked up. Like, I didn't even think of it until you said it.
What did I say?
The Big Brother Pikachu. You're like, that must be a Big Brother Pikachu.
I was like, he's protecting Togepi from being lonesome.
Right. They all go looking for Larvitar and end up on Elekid ears rising up through an Elekid background with the Electabuzz song playing in the background. Then the background turns into flames that doesn't burn them, and Magby appears in a fiery portal.
I was like, this looks kind of like the episodes we've watched recently.
Then they're floating around through Slowking shelters. The gang realize these are all Pokemon they encountered recently. A Slowking shows up that's big enough for even Pikachu and Togepi to enter its mouth, which they do, and then we get our Who's That Pokemon trivia. If spotted, this legendary Pokemon appears in a flash of fire. They end up back at Eggland and find a giant egg with a black shard sticking right out of it. There are holes in the egg, and through the holes they can see themselves walking, but strangely only Ash is in color, and the others are black and white. When Misty's image gets close to the viewing screen hole, the image freezes, and Brock realizes that is how Larvitar sees them all, which means the dimension is all Larvitar's thoughts and memories. That's why it looked like the episodes we just watched. Ash wonders what the black shard must be then and touches it, getting himself, his friends, and the 2 Pokemon sucked inside. The new area has Pikachu and Togepi back to their normal size, and then they're all attacked by creepy black things that spread out like branches. In between the branches, the gang see images of a giant bot and 3 sinister-looking thugs, all in grayscale as well. And there is a voice that sounds like Larvitar, but speaking normal words about being scared. It's all pretty trippy, really, and reminiscent of a movie we watched close to watching this episode. At this point, could probably even spoil that. It was Thunderbolts.
Yeah, most people probably have seen it by now.
Right? The 3 men are holding an egg and must be the poachers, and there is a Tyranitar crying out that gets a nasty cut from the machine launching rockets at it as it tried to get its egg back. Larvitar calls out to the Tyranitar as Mommy. Larvitar's fear is the black branches, and they're consuming an image of Larvitar, and so the gang need to climb up and fight through the fear and sadness to reach Larvitar and save him with the power of friendship. After rescuing Larvitar, the shard and the egg vanishes, and they all return back to where they had vanished from. Now Larvitar is okay with Misty and Brock, and the portal opens back up, and the Unown can return to its dimension. And then the gang head back on the road.
Who's that Pokemon? It's Moltres. Tallies, interesting intro, outstanding outro, and Big Brother Pikachu. Now to rank it.
Alright, Address Unknown. I actually really like this. I like the whole, it was kind of weird, some of the stuff going in the middle there, but I like the theme of it and how it connected to that movie as well, and its theme. And I think it also helps that the episode after it also helps wrap up some of the stuff we were seeing that it was hinting at and everything. So that colors my opinion a little bit. So I think I'm going to probably put it... I want to put it right under Nice Price Baby and above A Promise is a Promise is kind of what I'm thinking.
Sounds good.
So Address Unknown is now our number 19 out of 54.
All right. Now, Season 5, Episode 55, Mother of All Battles, or Bangirasu to Yogidasu, or Bangiras and Yogidas, with only one exclamation point. It's kind of hard to drag out any of it because it was really weird words.
That's just the name of the Pokemon.
Well, it's still hard words to say.
Ash and gang have reached the Pokemon Preserve, and something is spying on them. Turns out, what is spying on them is a busted bot with the 3 poachers inside. Brago, Blurt, and Chico.
Gosh, they're such idiots.
And yes, they have their own busted bot.
So true.
So true. It's so true.
You guys gotta watch this episode to fully understand.
The gang run into Tyranitar, and they know it's the same one that is Larvitar's mom because it has the scar it got from battling the poachers. The gang try to give Larvitar back, but Tyranitar mistakes their actions for an attack and unleashes its fury upon them. So the gang and Larvitar run. The poachers are watching the Tyranitar and waiting for the right time to launch a Pokebag. With a screech from Larvitar, the mom settles down, and so the poachers launch the bag, which completely straps down Tyranitar so it can't even open its mouth. The poachers appear, and the gang recognize them from Larvitar's memory. They introduce themselves as the Pokemon Poacher Brothers, and Team Rocket is spying on them, and are annoyed that they're copying their whole routine. However, Team Rocket does recognize that the Poacher brothers do have great tech, so they decide they want to join them, or at least pretend to, and then rob them. After Ash and Co. argue with the Poachers, the jerks decide to launch a bag at Larvitar, but Ash jumps in to save him and gets caught in it instead. Then there are sirens as the Ranger is coming, and so the Poachers skedaddle. Ranger Mason arrives, and Brock is immediately smitten once again, and he tries to ask her to chat somewhere quiet. She totally dismisses him with a "no thanks," and moves on to the arrival of Larvitar and the poaching of Tyranitar. Team Rocket meet up with the Poachers, and they kiss up to them and try to join. Crobat was sent ahead by Brock to see where the Poachers went and witness this, and it witnesses this. The Poachers allow Team Rocket to join, and they want them to get the Pikachu and Larvitar, and they even let Team Rocket borrow the Poacher machine, thus confirming its place as a busted bot. Because the Team Rocket's even using it. The Poachers are just using Team Rocket to be a distraction so they can escape easily. Crobat informs the gang where the Poachers are, and then we get our Who's That Pokemon trivia. This Pokemon stores berries inside its shell. Does that sound familiar? Good. The gang come across Team Rocket, who announce an interesting intro.
Prepare for trouble because it has approached.
And make it double, or you'll be poached. They emerge from the machine and finish off with an outstanding outro.
Team Rocket poaching now at the speed of light.
Surrender now, or prepare to fight. They launch a bag at Pikachu, and instead, Pikachu and Mason's Croconaw shoot it back, and it wraps up all of Team Rocket. And they go, blasting off again! Ding! The Poachers then float by in the Meowth balloon, and Tyranitar hanging upside down beneath it. They have a remote for the machine, and use it to grab Croconaw and Pikachu. Then a bag is launched, and it gets everyone left except Larvitar. Screech gets Tyranitar to try to get free again, and it eventually breaks the front of the bag apart and aims up to blow apart the balloon. The remote breaks, freeing the other Pokemon, and Tyranitar landed and the rest of the bag fell apart. The Poachers try to use their machine, but Larvitar and Tyranitar destroy it. Mother and child are reunited, Poachers are apprehended, and the gang can now head to Silvertown. But Brock tries to stay with Mason, and Misty is babysitting Brock again. Team Rocket, we find, are still in their bag, hanging upside down from a bridge.
And our Who's That Pokemon?
It is not
It's
Spoopy.
Spoopy!
It's not Spoopy. It's Shuckle.
No, it's
Spoopy was
Spoopy.
the Bellsprout.
I know Spoopy was about. It's Spoopy! Everyone, it's Spoopy. Ignore what he says. Spoopy! So, besides our Spoopy, the tallies are Busted Bot, Interesting Intro, Outstanding Outro, and Babysitting Brock. Now time to rank it. You didn't mention a lot of the guy going so true.
Yeah, Brago was, I don't know, like, it was hard to remember all the words that they were all saying, but yes, he was often being like, when I would compliment him, his brothers or whatever, he'd be like
they'd be praising him, like,
he's always like,
hardcore.
Yes, it's so true. I am awesome.
And
so
then
true.
A few, like, Jenny, or the Ranger and Ash, and maybe Brock, maybe Brock, all tried to do something like that. It was really stupid.
Oh, they tried to do a rhyme or something, yeah.
Like, they tried to make it sound intelligent.
I think Ash tried to do it.
The Ranger definitely tried to.
Maybe. I can't remember. Anyway.
No. Ash was the last one to try. Remember? Because...
No, I don't.
The Ranger was like the straw that breaks the camel's back or something. And then, like, Brock, I think, said something. And then Ash was thinking, and Misty's like, don't say you're trying for one, too. And he goes, whoever smelt it, dealt it.
That's right. I do remember that now.
So, I kind of want to put it right below Nurse's Steelix. Is that too high for you?
No, it was a fun episode. I liked Brago a lot. It was very amusing to me.
All right. Right below Nerves of Steelix.
All right, so that makes Mother of All Battles our number 16 out of 55.
Now for our final episode today, Season 5, Episode 56. Pop goes the Sneasel. Or, Mira to Sinadu Hono, or Naiula and the Sacred Flame. Only one exclamation point, but I like the English name, so it's okay enough. It's still not good, but it's boy.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, we did the whole journey to get Larvitar back to the preserve, and so they're supposed to be headed to Silvertown, but they're waylaid here. So Ash and Co. come to a place with a large wall and large doors and a big gathering of people. They are apparently waiting for the Johto League torch. It is the Ho-Oh Shrine, and where the torch begins its journey to the conference. They all decide they're going to hang out to see it too. However, people are starting to get antsy, because the runner should have been there already. Then a guy opens the door and apologizes for the delay, and says it'll be a bit longer due to some unforeseen events. While the door is open, Togepi waltzes in, and Pikachu chases to get her back in a Big Brother Pikachu moment. The guy chases them down, and Ash and Co. rush in to help get their Pokemon back. After catching up, 2 trainers rush down a large flight of stairs, distressed. They can't train with such danger and rush off to get to a Pokemon Center for their Pokemon. They can't risk their Pokemon before the conference, and the guy says that is 2 more gone. When he finds out Ash is also headed for the conference, he has a huge favor to ask. He's asked many others, but they all end up running away in fear. Just then, another person arrives with a Houndoom. He's a Pokemon trainer from a town called Littleroot, which is the starter town in the Hoenn region.
Ooh, interesting.
Which is our 3rd generation game.
So he's a future friend.
His name is Harrison, and he offers to help. Turns out the torch can't be lit because a Sneasel is stopping people from getting to the flame at the top of the stairs. So Harrison joins Ash and Co. to try and deal with the Sneasel. Meanwhile, Team Rocket overheard the conversation about the flames and intend to steal it and hold it for ransom, just like they did with the last flame.
That didn't end so well, Team Rocket.
They rush in and are stopped by a Machop and Machoke, who is led by Sneasel. They battle, and Sneasel sends Team Rocket flying into the woods, and they are blasting off again! Ding!
Plus, they're lost in the woods.
Ash and Co. reach the top and are confronted by Machop and Machoke. Misty sends Corsola in to battle them, and Harrison sends in Houndoom. Ash rushes to the shrine, but is stopped by Sneasel, and so he brings in Totodile to fight. Totodile almost gets hit as he was distracted Pokemon as he danced around like he likes to do. Sneasel wins, and they all have to regroup. Then we get our Who's That Pokemon trivia. This Pokemon rotates its arms to generate electricity. James and Jessie are impressed with Sneasel, and Jessie wants to fire Meowth and bring in Sneasel instead. James doesn't like the idea, but Jessie bullies him into it. Meowth overhears all this, and then pretends he's all for their idea, but plans to backstab them, of course.
I mean, they're backstabbing him.
Kinda. Ash and Co. head up for round 2, and this time, Ash and Harrison send in Phanpy and Houndoom to deal with the Muscleheads, and they're knocked down to the bottom of the stairs. The Muscleheads are.
Oh.
Then they're going to take on Sneasel, but Team Rocket arrives in a Sneasel balloon. Harrison gives them an opening by asking who they are, and we get an interesting intro.
Prepare for trouble, that Sneasel is ours.
Make that double. It'll triple our powers. At the end of the motto, Meowth pops in, dressed as a Sneasel. The plan is for Meowth to pretend to be a friend and give a gift that's a smoke bomb, but Meowth tries to tell Sneasel about the smoke bomb and to send it at Team Rocket instead. But Sneasel has his own ideas and slashes Meowth and sends him flying back to Team Rocket, but that makes the smoke bomb drop right in front of Sneasel. Jessie and James rush in and capture Sneasel and take off in the balloon, only they grabbed Meowth and not Sneasel. Meowth scratches Jessie, so she throws him out, so he puts his claws into the balloon, and they all go blasting off again! Ding! When the smoke clears, Harrison sends out a future friend. It is Blaziken, the final evolution of Torchic. It's the fire starter of the Hoenn region.
Mm-hmm.
And Ash's Pokedex says no available data. Harrison uses Blaziken to battle Sneasel and then catches the difficult Pokemon. So then the Sacred Flame can light the torch and the runners can start their run to the conference. And Machop and Machoke have been hired, I guess that's what he said, to guard the shrine.
Yeah, hi. Maybe they're just friendly now, but they're always going to guard the shrine. Who's that Pokemon? It's Elekid. Tally's big brother Pikachu, distracted Pokemon, interesting intro, and future friend. Now time to rank it.
All right, pop goes the Sneasel. It was fun to have a future friend. I liked Harrison. The story was kind of fun, but there's also a lot of really good stuff that we've already gone through, so... Oh, the Sneasel confusion with Meowth and everything was also pretty funny, though. I think I want to put it right under Beauty is Skin Deep and above Entei at Your Own Risk, which is above Ice Cave.
Ah, that looks good.
Okay, so that makes Pop Goes the Sneasel number 29 out of 56.
Now time to capture our Pokemon.
So this is where we pick out who stood out to us in this gathering of episodes.
You ready?
I think so. I originally thought I knew what I was going to do, but I think it changed.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Elekid.
Unown.
Oh, I was thinking you were going to go with Larvitar again, since he was a big, driving force for all these episodes.
I couldn't do him twice in a row.
Sure.
I wish I hadn't chosen him last time.
Yep. Elekid, I thought was just kind of, he was a punk, but I liked his, he had a lot of character to him, I guess. Yeah. I like that, and his teaming up with Larvitar.
The fact that he was a punk made me not want to give him a Pokeball.
Sure. Understandable. Totally fair. Alright, so Elekid and Unown get a Pokeball.
Now, time for Pokemon cards!
Woohoo! So it looks like we're both opening packs with Ethan and Ho-Oh.
Yeah! Getting my cards wet.
Yeah. Huh. I have Diplin, Grass. You've just read it, so I don't need to. I have Electrike, Lightning. It stores electricity in its fur. It gives off sparks from all over its body in season when the air is dry. Tailo, Colorless. It dislikes cold seasons. They migrate to other lands in search of warmth, flying over 180 miles a day.
Here's where it's always warm.
Ethan's Slugma, Fire type. Its lava body can cool and chip away at times, but a magma bath will heal it right up. Ooh, Shaman, Grass type. Ability, Flower Curtain. Prevent all damage done to your bench Pokemon that don't have a rule box by attacks from your opponent's Pokemon. The blooming of Gracidia flowers confers the power of flight upon it. Feelings of gratitude are the message it delivers. Supporter Trainer card, Ethan's Adventure. Search your deck for up to 3 in any combination of Ethan's Pokemon and basic Fire Energy cards. Reveal them and put them into your hand, then shuffle your deck. Abomasnow evolves from Snover, Water type. It lives a quiet life on mountains that are perpetually covered in snow. It hides itself by whipping up blizzards. Cynthia's Roserade evolves from Cynthia's Roselia. Ability, Cheer on to glory. Oh, this is a reverse holo card. Attacks used by your Cynthia's Pokemon do 30 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon before applying weakness and resistance. The poison in its right hand is quick acting. The poison on its left hand is slow acting. Both are life-threatening. Ooh. Misty's Labyrinth. Misty's Lapras, water. And it's a alternate art card. Secret rare. And it's beautiful. Misty sleeping on her Lapras on the beach.
I want it.
It ferries people across the sea on its back. It may sing an enchanting cry if it is in a good mood. It's a very, very pretty card. And Team Rocket's Sneasel. This cunning Pokemon hides... Oh, Dark type. This cunning Pokemon hides under the cover of darkness, waiting to attack its prey. And I got a basic Lightning Energy card.
Yanma, grass. As Yanma surveys its territory, it periodically stops to hover in place by flapping its wings at high speeds. Cynthia's Gibble, fighting. It skulks in caves, and when prey or an enemy passes by, it leaps out and chomps them. The force of its attack sometimes chips its teeth.
It can't chomp them, not till it becomes a Garchomp.
Pineco, grass. It likes to make its shell thicker by adding layers of tree bark. The additional weight doesn't bother it. Clamp Pearl, water. Clamp Pearl's pearls are exceedingly precious. They can be more than 10 times as costly as Shelder's pearls.
Ooh.
That has their face and stuff, so, like, they take them and preserve them. And it's, like, actually a live Pokemon, so they preserve an alive thing. That's sad. Barrascuda evolves from Aracuda, water. It spins its tail fins to leap from the water, then viciously bites down on Wingull, flying close to the water surface. Supporter Trainer, Team Rocket's Proton. If you go first, you may use this card during your first turn. Search your deck for up to 3 basic Team Rocket's Pokemon, reveal them, and put them into your hand, then shuffle your deck. Team Rocket's Murkrow.
Murkrow.
Dark. Feared and loathed by many, it is believed to bring misfortune to all those who see it at night. Diplin evolves from Applin, reverse hollow, grass. Diplin is 2 creatures in one Pokemon. Its evolution was triggered by a special apple grown only in one place. Second reverse hollow. Supporter Trainer, Team Rocket's Giovanni. Makes it sound like their pet or something.
Sounds like a Pokemon, yeah.
Switch your active Team Rocket's Pokemon with one of your benched Team Rocket's Pokemon. If you do, switch in one of your opponent's bench Pokemon to the active spot. My rare card is a Team Rocket's Spitops, evolves from Tarantula. Grass. Ability, charging up. Once during your turn, you may attach a basic energy card from your discard pile to this Pokemon. It clings to branches and ceilings using its threads and moves without a sound. It takes out its prey before the prey even notices it.
I think it's supposed to be Spidops, like spy, ops.
Oh. And then a grass energy card.
Nice.
All right, well, that concludes our episodes for this week. Routes Through Pokemon is a Hunterfield Institute production. You can find us on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, and other podcasting platforms. You can also find us on YouTube at the Hunterfield Institute channel. Just look for the Routes Through Pokemon playlist. And wherever you find us, go ahead and like, subscribe, rate, and review. And if you want to get a hold of us, you can email us at hunterfieldmanor@gmail.com. Shaylock is also on X at HunterfieldIns and Instagram at kinetic_card. He posts there and on our Facebook page, Routes Through Pokemon, with our episode rankings and tally counts, and some Who's That Pokemon segments. Next week, we get back into the game as we explore more of Kanto and take on more gym. But in the meantime, thank you so much for listening, and we will catch you on the next route. Bye-bye.
Bye. Sayonara.
Shane.
Part 51. What's in a Name? The attendant turned to Violet.
I'm sorry, Margaret, but it seems we're having trouble verifying your trainer ID.
Shelley shifted nervously, and her eyes looked everywhere other than where Violet was sitting.
Sorry?
Violet said, looking back to the attendant.
What did you say?
We're having trouble verifying your trainer ID.
Okay, well, can you try again?
The attendant nodded.
Of course. Perhaps it was simply a small glitch.
Violet noticed that Shelley still looked very nervous. That made Violet suspicious. Still, the attendant had not addressed Shelley. The attendant didn't say Violet either, though, had she? That made Violet suspicious. The attendant could be up to no good then.
Is one of these three a member of Team Rocket?
Violet thought to herself.
If they are, I need to find out soon and rescue the innocent one.
The attendant started up the transfer machine, and information on the Pokemon was displayed again. Violet took a deep breath and tried to slow down her paranoia.
Just relax, Violet. Maybe it really was just a glitch. Team Rocket isn't hiding around every corner.
Her eyes flicked up to the display, and she looked over the Machop information. It looked like the original trainer was Henry from the fan club, with Shelly being the current owner. Then Violet's eyes scanned Meowth's information as well. It said it was caught outside of Cerulean City. It knew moves like Growl, the original trainer, and current owner were the same, of course. And then it all went blank again as the machine shut down.
Wait,
Violet said to herself.
did it say the trainer's name was...
Margaret, it seems your ID has caused a problem again. I don't think it's a machine error.
The attendant said. Violet was so confused.
Do you just call me Margaret?
Of course.
The attendant answered.
That's what the trainer ID says here for Meowth's owner. But if you're not Margaret, then we may have a bigger issue.
But I'm not Bigger issue?
Yes, you can't trade Pokemon that aren't yours. We would need to investigate why you have someone else's Pokemon and why you are trying to trade it off.
But I caught this Pokemon. I accidentally tripped over it and hurt it. The poor thing was angry at me when I tried to pick it up. So I caught it so I could take it to a Pokemon Center.
That's a fine story, but the facts are in the data. This Pokemon belongs to Margaret, and if you aren't Margaret, then it doesn't belong to you.
Violet felt just as nervous as Shelly looked. Nothing made sense, and now she looked like a thief. The data said so, and that was going to carry a lot more weight than the words of a child.
But why is the data wrong?
Violet wondered.
It must have been changed.
Slapping a hand against her forehead, Violet groaned.
Of course.
She said out loud as it became clear.
You're messing with the data in the system.
She said to the attendant.
You're Team Rocket, aren't you?
How dare you? I take my role here very seriously. I would never.
Deciding not to wait around for more lies to get her into trouble, Violet snatched up the blue and white Pokeball sitting in the machine.
Sorry, Shelly. Looks like I can't get you your Meowth today.
Then Violet turned and fled back toward the lobby of the Pokemon Center. An alarm began to ring.
Attention, attention. There is a thief on the premises. The police are on their way. Everyone remain calm and keep to the walls. Out of the way. We do not want you harmed. Attention, attention.
The message, which the attendant delivered, repeated itself as Violet burst into the lobby. She spotted her friend, Shiro, looking bewildered at the chaos. Locking eyes, Violet could see he seemed concerned. Then the front doors that Violet was headed toward opened, and 2 officers entered. "Hey, you! Stop right there!" Violet didn't know what else to do, and so she was about to obey. But before that could happen, a torrent of water slammed into the officers. They were carried across the room and collided hard with a wall. As Violet continued to run, she leapt over the large puddle that remained on the floor, and she saw a beam of light consume what she thought was a Blastoise. Someone had sent it in to help her escape. Emerging from the building, Violet continued to run straight ahead to get some distance from the center and the officers. There was a rusty, abandoned truck off in an overgrown field in the distance. It seemed a good place to hide. Focused on that, and constantly looking back to see if she was being followed, Violet had failed to notice what was directly in front of her. Ow! Pain shot through Violet's body as she collided hard with someone about a head shorter than her. She fell back onto the ground hard, sending up even more pain. However, she hadn't been the one to cry out. It was the boy who was lying on the ground in front of her. That must have been what she had run into.
Oh, I'm so sorry,
Violet said as she jumped up. She reached down to help him up to his feet as quickly as she could. "It's okay. I'll survive, I think,"
Okay, well, sorry again.
she said as she started to go around him. "No, wait! I need you to come with me.
I can't. I really need...
I know a place you can hide. Just come on." Violet was surprised by that. How had this kid known she would need somewhere to hide?
I don't think that's a...
Where did she go? Violet looked up and saw the soggy officers had come out of the center, and the attendant was with them.
On second thought, lead on, kid.
The boy nodded and grinned. "All right, this way." He darted down the same street that the Pokemon Fan Club building was located, but he didn't head there. Instead, he stopped by what looked like a condemned building. "In here!" Violet felt uneasy about entering a place that looked like it could collapse at any moment. Normally, Violet would take her chances with being arrested rather than trust someone who wanted her to enter a place like that. But the kid was younger and smaller than her. He probably used it like a fort or clubhouse or something. Taking a deep breath, she followed the boy inside. She immediately regretted it. To be continued.